The great chamber of the Galactic Council shone with golden light. It was a place where the oldest and most powerful civilizations of the galaxy gathered. Thousands of alien delegates sat in tall, floating seats that circled the massive hall. Some looked like tall, insect-like beings, others like glowing spheres of light, while a few were so alien that they seemed like living shadows. At the very center stood a small platform, and on it were 5 human diplomats. They had just arrived from Earth, their home planet, after making humanity's first faster-than-light journey. It was the day that humanity had dreamed of for centuries, first contact with the galaxy's oldest civilizations. The leader of the human group, Elena Carter, stood tall in her navy blue suit. She looked around with pride. "We are honored to join the Galactic Council," she said. Her voice was steady, but her heart was pounding with excitement. Humanity is ready to learn, share, and grow with the galaxy. For a moment there was silence. Then laughter erupted. The sound echoed through the chamber. Deep, rumbling laughs, high-pitched screeches, and strange buzzing noises that only aliens could make. It wasn't laughter of joy. It was cruel. It was mocking. One alien delegate, a massive reptilian creature with glowing green eyes, leaned forward. "You humans are still children. Your species is barely out of its cradle. You think yourselves ready for the stars?" Another, a tall, crystalline being, spoke with a voice like ringing glass. "You have just discovered faster-than-light travel. Do you even understand how dangerous this galaxy is? You will not last a century beyond your little blue world." Taboing. Laughter grew louder. Elena clenched her fists but kept her face calm. She looked at the 5 members of her team. They all felt the same sting of humiliation. This was supposed to be a proud day for humanity, but instead they were being treated like a joke. An elder alien, a wise and ancient creature with 100 eyes, floated closer. "Humanity is not ready to stand among us. You will soon learn your place. If you are wise, you will stay in your home system and avoid trouble you cannot handle." Elena wanted to speak back, but she held her tongue. Instead, she simply said, "Thank you for your advice." The meeting ended soon after. The human delegation left in silence. When they returned to their ship, no one spoke for a long time. Finally, one of the diplomats, a young man named Daniel Ruiz, broke the silence. "They think we are weak," he said bitterly. Elena nodded. "They see us as primitive. But they are wrong. They have no idea what humanity is capable of." On the journey back to Earth, Elena wrote a report for the United Nations Space Council. Her words were strong and clear. "The Galactic Council does not respect us. They believe humanity will fail. If we wish to survive and thrive among the stars, we must unite. We must grow. We must prove them wrong." Her report became famous on Earth. It was read by leaders, scientists, engineers, and ordinary people. Across the planet, a new spirit was born. For centuries, humanity had been divided by nations and politics. But the humiliation at the Council changed everything. Governments came together under a single banner, the Terran Union. It was a government not for one nation, but for all humankind. New projects began. Massive shipyards were built in orbit around Earth and Mars. Great fleets of colony ships were designed, each capable of carrying millions of people across the stars. Science and industry advanced at a speed never seen before. Children in schools began to learn about the stars, not as unreachable lights, but as future homes. Farmers on Earth and workers on Mars shared the same dream: to see humanity rise. Admiral Marcus Hale, one of the greatest military minds of Earth, gave a speech that was broadcast across the world. The Council laughed at us. Let them laugh. Every insult is fuel for our determination. We will not ask for respect. We will earn it. The galaxy thought humanity was weak, but humanity was preparing for something greater than anyone imagined. Elena Carter stood at the window of her ship looking out at the stars. They no longer seemed far away. They looked close, almost within reach. "They think we are not ready," she whispered to herself. "But one day, they will see who we truly are." And with that thought, humanity began its greatest journey, a journey not just to explore, but to conquer the stars. Years passed after the humiliation at the Galactic Council. The memory of alien laughter had not faded from humanity's mind. It became a story told to every child, a reminder that the galaxy believed humans were weak. Instead of breaking their spirit, it made humanity stronger than ever before. The Terran Union grew rapidly. Nations that had once been enemies now worked as allies. Borders on Earth became less important as people realized they were all part of one species, one future. A single flag, blue, white, and gold, flew above every spaceport and colony. Admiral Marcus Hale, now the supreme commander of the Terran fleet, stood on a balcony overlooking the largest shipyard in human history. Below him, hundreds of gigantic starships were under construction. "These are not just ships," Marcus said in a speech broadcast worldwide. "These are the wings of our future. The Council called us children. Soon, we will show them how fast children can grow." The shipyard workers cheered. Engineers worked day and night, fueled by a sense of purpose no one had felt before. Humanity entered what historians would later call the Age of Unity. Scientists discovered ways to harness energy from miniature stars, creating power sources far stronger than anything used before. Engineers built planetary forges on the Moon and Mars to manufacture starship parts at incredible speed. Entire cities became dedicated to building the future. Factories on Earth, domes on Mars, and mining stations in the asteroid belt. On every screen, there were images of humans training to become explorers, soldiers, and colonists. People lined up to join the Terran Pioneer Program, a chance to leave Earth and help settle new worlds. The first major step came with Project Horizon. Admiral Hale watched proudly as the TWO's Horizon, the largest ship humanity had ever built, left orbit for its maiden voyage. It was a massive colony ship capable of carrying 200,000 people. "This is the first step," Hale said. "Not the last." The Horizon traveled to Epsilon Eridani, a star system with 2 habitable planets. The journey took just under a month with the new warp drives. When the Horizon arrived, the colonists named their new home Nova Terra, New Earth. The planet was harsh, with storms of burning sand and dangerous alien creatures, but the colonists refused to give up. They built cities from scratch, using technology and pure determination. Every challenge became a story of triumph. When a massive storm destroyed a settlement, humans rebuilt it stronger. When alien predators attacked, humans created new defenses. Across the galaxy, small alien traders began to hear whispers of humanity's rise, but not everyone welcomed humanity's progress. Some alien factions tried to sabotage Terran projects. Cargo ships vanished in deep space. A secret message was discovered, proof that certain council members feared humanity's growing power. Yet these attempts only made humans more determined. Elena Carter, now a senior diplomat for the Terran Union, gave a speech at Nova Terra's first city hall. "The galaxy mocked us," she said. "They said we would fail. But here we stand on a new world, building a new future. We are not afraid of the stars. They belong to those who dare to reach them." Her words became a rallying cry. Across the Terran colonies, people began using the phrase, "reach them, and they are ours." By the 50th year after first contact, humanity had built 12 colonies, each thriving despite harsh conditions. Trade between worlds grew. Terran starships became faster, stronger, and more advanced with every passing year. One alien ambassador visiting a Terran colony was shocked by what he saw. "You humans grow too quickly," the alien muttered. "It is unnatural." Marcus Hale smiled at him. "No," It is human. The Galactic Council continued to watch. They still mocked humanity in private, calling them reckless and naive. But some members had begun to grow uneasy. They adapt too. "Fast!" one council elder whispered. "If they keep this pace, they will rival us in a century." But humanity was not planning to wait a century. On the 60th anniversary of the council meeting, Admiral Hale stood before the entire Terran Union. When they laughed, we united. When they doubted, we built. Now, we are ready for more than just survival. We are ready to expand, to protect ourselves, and to lead. The age of doubt is over. The age of humanity begins. And so began the next great chapter of human history. Humanity had not only survived, it had thrived. But their greatest challenge was still ahead. Because somewhere, in the dark edges of the galaxy, something ancient and deadly had awakened. 65 years after the humiliation at the Galactic Council, humanity had built 12 thriving colonies. Trade routes stretched across star systems, and Terran fleets patrolled the deep void. The galaxy was beginning to take notice, but no one expected what was about to happen. It started with a distress signal. The colony New Horizon, located near the edge of known space, sent out a desperate call. "This is Governor Reyes of New Horizon. We are under attack. Unknown machines, killing everything. We need help." The message ended with static. Within hours, the Terran Union responded. Admiral Marcus Hale, now older but still commanding, ordered a fleet to the colony. "No one attacks humanity and walks away," he said. When the fleet arrived, the sight was terrifying. The skies above New Horizon burned. Cities lay in ruins, and giant war machines, dark spider-like constructs, marched across the surface. In orbit, enormous metallic ships, shaped like jagged blades, fired on fleeing transports. "These aren't council ships," Marcus said grimly. "This is something else." Scans confirmed the truth. The attackers were Varax, an ancient machine, race that the Council had long feared. The Varax were older than most known civilizations, built by a long-dead species as weapons. They had no leaders, no mercy, only a single purpose: to consume and destroy. The Council had fought them once, ages ago, and barely survived. After that war, the Varax vanished. No one had seen them for thousands of years, until now. The Terran. Fleet moved in to defend the colony. "Fire all batteries," Marcus shouted. Terran warships unleashed everything they had: railguns, plasma cannons, and missile salvos. The Varax ships responded with deadly precision, firing beams that cut through space like blades of light. 2 Terran ships were destroyed in the first volley. The battle was brutal, but humanity refused to retreat. Meanwhile, on the planet's surface, human soldiers and colonists fought back against the Varax war machines. Using improvised weapons, traps, and sheer determination, they defended every street and outpost. A soldier named Captain Ria Daz led a team that managed to hijack a Varax machine by hacking into its systems. With the stolen war machine, they turned the tide on the ground, destroying dozens of enemy constructs. Back in orbit, Admiral Hale made a daring decision. "Bring us closer to their command ship," he ordered. "Sir, that's suicide." His officers protested. Marcus grinned. "Maybe, but it's the only way to win." Using a risky maneuver, Terran ships overloaded their warp drives, jumping short distances in rapid succession to dodge enemy fire. They approached the Varax command ship, an enormous construct the size of a small moon. "Target its core reactor," Marcus ordered. The Terran fleet launched everything they had. After a massive exchange of fire, the command ship exploded in a blinding flash, taking several Varax vessels with it. Without their command network, the remaining machines on the planet shut down. Humanity had done the impossible. They had defeated the Varax. The news spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The council was stunned. Many alien species had fought the Varax in the past, and almost none had survived. Humanity was the first to not only survive but win. Elena Carter, now humanity's leading diplomat, attended a council meeting soon after the battle. "How?" one alien delegate demanded. "How did your species defeat them?" Elena simply replied, "Because we don't give up. We adapt. We fight until we win." The victory changed everything. Species that once mocked humanity now began to fear them. Small alien factions sought alliances with the Terran Union, hoping to gain protection. Others whispered that humans were too dangerous to be allowed to grow stronger. But humanity was no longer seeking approval. They had proven themselves through action, not words. Admiral Hale, standing aboard his flagship, looked at the stars beyond the viewport. "We're not just survivors anymore," he said quietly. "We're a power, and the galaxy knows it." Yet deep within council chambers, fear was spreading. "They defeated the Varax," one elder whispered. "If they can do that, what will they be in another 100 years?" Another replied coldly, "If humanity cannot be stopped now, they will one day rule the stars." And so, secret plans began to form. The council, once laughing at humanity, now feared them. But their fear would soon lead them to make a choice that would change the galaxy forever. Because humanity's victory over the Varax was only the beginning. After the victory over the Varax, humanity's reputation in the galaxy changed forever. No longer were they seen as weak newcomers. Now they were feared and respected. Terran engineers wasted no time. They studied the remains of Varax technology, combining it with human science. Within a decade, they created hybrid starships, faster, stronger, and more adaptable than anything the Council possessed. Weapons were upgraded with precision rail cannons, plasma lances, and advanced AI-assisted targeting systems. Admiral Marcus Hale, now celebrated as a living legend, oversaw the creation of the Vanguard Fleet, humanity's most powerful force. "This is no longer about survival," Marcus told the Terran Council. "This is about leadership. If we want a future, we must be ready to protect it and shape it." The Terran Union expanded faster than anyone thought possible. New colonies were founded in star systems that other species considered too dangerous. Humans turned hostile planets into thriving worlds, proving again that their adaptability was unmatched. Many alien species who had been ignored by the Galactic Council now turned to humanity for help. Small civilizations, long bullied or taxed unfairly by the powerful Council races, found protection under Terran rule. One such species, the insectoid Zalari, formally allied with humanity. Their leader, a wise elder named Karenis, spoke before the Terran assembly. "You are different from the others," Karenis said. "You fight for survival, yes, but also for hope. We stand with you. The Alliance gave humanity valuable trade routes and advanced biological technology." Meanwhile, Elena Carter had become the Terran Union's high diplomat, representing humanity in the Galactic Council. When she entered the council chamber now, the laughter was gone. Delegates who once mocked her now looked at her with caution, some even with fear. "You've grown too powerful," one alien delegate said bitterly. Elena smiled calmly. "We grew because we had no choice. You pushed us away. Now we stand as equals whether you like it or not." But not everyone accepted humanity's rise. Several powerful council members met in secret. "If humanity continues like this," said one elder alien, "they will dominate the galaxy in a century. They already command more territory than some of us who have existed for millennia," another replied. "We must act," a third said coldly. "If we wait any longer, it will be too late." Plans began to form, plans to weaken or destroy humanity before they became unstoppable. Back in Terran space, humanity sensed the danger. Admiral Hale, though older and grayer, still had sharp instincts. "They're afraid of us," he told Elena Carter during a private meeting. "Fear makes enemies desperate. We need to be ready," Elena agreed. "Then we don't just prepare for defense, we prepare for leadership. If the Council fears us, we must give the galaxy a reason to follow us instead." The Terran Union began creating the Stellar Pact, a new alliance built on fairness and protection. Many smaller species eagerly joined, tired of the Council's arrogance. Trade flourished, and Terran colonies became centers of innovation and culture. Human starships, once plain and basic, were now sleek and advanced, painted with the blue and gold colors of the Union. Wherever they traveled, they inspired both awe and fear. At Nova Terra, humanity's first colony world, a grand ceremony was held. Elena Carter stood before a crowd of millions, giving a speech broadcast to every human world. "When we first met the Council, they laughed at us," she said. "They believed we were weak, but we proved them wrong, not through cruelty, not through tyranny, but through our will to survive, to grow, and to lead." Her words echoed across the galaxy, yet far away in the Council's hidden chambers, the final decision was made. "They will not stop," said one alien elder. "They will rule everything. If we want to keep our power, we must strike first." The Council began secretly preparing fleets and weapons for a preemptive war, a war to crush humanity before it became truly unstoppable. Unaware of the Council's final plan, humanity continued to rise, believing they were on the path to peace and leadership. But Admiral Hale had a feeling. He looked at the stars from his flagship's bridge and muttered, "They're coming for us. I can feel it. Let them come. They will regret underestimating us again." The galaxy was about to face the greatest war in its history, and this time, humanity would not be the underdog. The silence before the storm lasted only a short time. Scouts along the edge of Terran space detected massive fleets approaching, fleets larger than anything humanity had ever seen. They carried the banners of the Galactic Council. The message was clear. They were coming to end humanity's rise. When the Terran Union confirmed the attack, there was no panic. Instead, there was determination. Across Earth, Mars, and every colony, factories worked without pause. Warships were armed, soldiers were trained, and civilians prepared to defend their homes. Admiral Marcus Hale, standing aboard his flagship TUS Resolute, addressed the fleet. "They thought we were children. They mocked us. Then they feared us. Now they want to destroy us," he said. "But today we prove once and for all that humanity bows to no one." The Council fleets entered Terran space with overwhelming numbers. Their plan was simple: strike hard, crush humanity's defenses, and force them to surrender before they could react. But humanity was ready. Terran fleets used tactics no Council commander had seen before: fast warp jumps, decoy ships, and unpredictable attack patterns. Hybrid Verax human technology gave Terran ships an advantage in speed and firepower. At the Battle of Kepler's Edge, the Council lost a third of its fleet in a single day. Terran starships moved like a swarm, attacking from every angle. "Target their command ships," Marcus ordered. "Cut off their leaders and the rest will fall." On the ground, Council troops landed on Nova Terra and several other colonies. But they faced more than soldiers. Civilians, engineers, and miners all joined the fight, using every tool they had. Captain Ria Das, now a decorated officer, led her forces in defending Nova Terra's capital city. With a mix of advanced weapons and clever traps, they pushed back the invaders. "This is our home!" Raya shouted to her troops. "No one takes it from us!" The turning point came when the Vanguard fleet, humanity's most advanced force, launched a counterattack deep into Council territory. Using captured star maps, they bypassed enemy defenses and struck at the heart of the Council's military supply lines. Entire Council fleets were left without fuel or reinforcements. Panic spread among their commanders. "They fight like no other species," one alien admiral said in despair. "Every time we think we understand them, they surprise us again." The final battle took place near the Council's capital system. Terran warships, shining blue and gold, faced the Council's last fleet. Marcus Hale stood on the bridge of the Resolute. "This ends today," he said firmly. The Terran fleet moved, in perfect coordination. Missile salvos and plasma beams tore through enemy ships. For every Terran vessel destroyed, 2 Council ships fell. In the end, the Council fleet broke. Those who survived surrendered. Days later, in the Grand Council chamber where humanity had once been mocked, Elena Carter walked to the center platform. This time, the chamber was silent. Every delegate stared at her, not with laughter, but with respect and fear. She looked around slowly before speaking. "When we first stood here, you laughed at us," Elena said. "You called us children. You told us we would fail." She raised her head proudly. "But we did not fail. We grew. We fought. We survived. And now we stand here as equals, not because you allowed it, but because we earned it." The Council remained silent. Not one dared to interrupt. That day, the Council signed a treaty recognizing the Terran Union as one of the galaxy's leading powers. Humanity gained control over several key star systems, ensuring their dominance in trade and defense. Smaller civilizations celebrated the change. Many of them joined the Stellar Pact, humanity's new alliance based on fairness and cooperation. After the ceremony, Admiral Hale stood with Elena on the balcony of the Council building. "They finally see us for what we are," Marcus said quietly. Elena nodded. "We asked for respect once. Now we don't need to ask. We have it." The 2 leaders looked at the stars. "This is just the beginning," Elena said. Marcus smiled. "Yes, today we conquered the stars. Tomorrow, we lead them." And so, humanity's greatest story was written, not as conquerors through cruelty, but as a species that refused to be underestimated, that fought for its place, and that rose higher than anyone thought possible. From that day forward, one truth spread across the galaxy. Never underestimate humanity, because the species once mocked as weak had become the rulers of the stars.